Have you ever stood in front of your mirror, fully dressed and ready to face the world, only to feel something was just off? Not wrong exactly, but diminished somehow. Like your reflection had lost a certain spark, a certain presence you knew was there inside you. You looked down at your outfit, perfectly clean, properly fitted, nothing outright unflattering, but still, that nagging feeling persisted. Something about what you were wearing was quietly working against you, draining away your vitality instead of celebrating it. Here's what most women over 60 don't realize. The problem often isn't the style of your clothing, or even how it fits your changing body. The problem is color. More specifically, it's the wrong colors sitting against your skin, sending silent messages you never intended to broadcast to the world around you. These colors can make you appear tired when you feel energized, invisible when you deserve to be seen, and yes, even poorer than you actually are. I know that might sound harsh, perhaps even a bit shocking, but I'm not here to judge you or make you feel bad about the choices hanging in your closet right now. I'm here to empower you with knowledge that can genuinely transform how you present yourself to the world. Because after 6 decades of living, learning, and growing into the remarkable woman you are today, you deserve to look as vibrant and confident as you feel inside. The truth is, our skin undergoes profound changes as we mature. The undertones shift, the natural pigmentation softens, and what looked absolutely stunning on us at 40 might now wash us out completely at 65. This isn't a flaw in us. It's simply evolution, the natural progression of time leaving its gentle mark. But when we continue wearing the same colors that flattered our younger selves, we're fighting against these changes instead of working with them. And that silent battle shows up in our reflection every single day. Today, we're going to walk through 7 specific colors that can undermine your appearance, making you look older, less vibrant, and yes, even less prosperous than you truly are. More importantly, I'm going to share what you should reach for instead. This isn't about chasing trends or throwing out your entire wardrobe in a panic. This is about understanding the quiet language your clothing speaks and learning to make it say exactly what you want it to say about who you are. Let's start with a color that tricks so many women into thinking they're playing it safe, when in reality, they're quietly aging themselves with every wear. I'm talking about muddy, dingy browns. Now, before you protest and tell me brown is a neutral that goes with everything, I want you to really hear what I'm saying here. Not all browns are created equal, and the difference between a rich, luxurious brown and a muddy, lifeless brown can be the difference between looking elegant and looking exhausted. The muddy browns I'm referring to are those dull, dusty, grayish-brown shades that remind you of dried mud or faded cardboard. They lack warmth, they lack depth, and most critically for those of us over 60, they lack any sense of vibrancy or life. When you wear these colors near your face, something troubling happens. Your skin takes on a sallow quality, almost a grayish cast that emphasizes every line and shadow. The color creates this visual impression of neglect, of something tired and unrefined, even though you yourself are anything but tired or unrefined. Color psychology tells us that brown symbolizes stability, earthiness, and tradition. These are lovely qualities, certainly, but when the shade lacks richness and warmth, when it's been drained of its vibrancy, it slides from grounded to grim. It reminds people subconsciously of dust, of dirt, of things that have been forgotten in the back of a closet. And unfortunately, that subtle psychological signal translates directly to how people perceive you. Not consciously, mind you. Most people couldn't articulate why you seem less put together in that muddy brown cardigan. But they feel it nonetheless. And so do you when you catch your reflection and wonder why you look so tired. I've watched beautifully dressed older women enter rooms and found myself thinking, if only she'd chosen a richer tone, her entire presence would shift. That muddy brown sweater paired with gray trousers? Replace it with a warm mocha or a deep chocolate brown, and suddenly she looks intentional. She looks elegant. She looks fully alive. The difference truly is that powerful, that immediate, that transformative. So if muddy brown currently dominates your closet, here's what I want you to do. Don't panic and don't feel guilty. Simply begin to upgrade within the brown family. Look for chocolate brown that's deep and luxurious, reminiscent of the finest dark chocolate. Consider cinnamon or rust tones that bring warmth without dullness. Try camel or caramel, sophisticated shades that enhance rather than diminish the light in your face. These tones give your outfits true dimension. They reflect beautifully against silver or gray hair, creating a harmony that celebrates your natural coloring instead of fighting against it. Moving forward, let's talk about black. Oh, black. The so-called miracle color, the fashion staple we've been told for decades, is slimming, timeless, eternally chic. And it absolutely can be all those things. The problem is, not all black remains equal over time. Black fades. It loses that crisp, saturated intensity that makes it so striking when it's new. And when black fades, it transforms from your friend into your enemy. Faded black no longer flatters. Instead, it drains the life right out of your complexion. Picture this with me for a moment. You have a favorite black t-shirt, maybe one you've owned for years. It's been washed dozens of times, perhaps tumbled in the dryer more than it should have been. The neckline has stretched slightly. There's some pilling on the fabric. The black that was once as dark as midnight ink has now faded to more of a charcoal gray. You've probably worn that exact shirt to run errands or work around the house. Now compare that mental image to a brand new black blouse made from silk or ponte knit. Sleek, structured, intensely dark. The difference isn't just in the fabric quality. It's in the message each garment sends to the world. Faded black whispers, "I don't care anymore, I've given up." Rich, saturated black announces, "I know exactly who I am, and I'm confident in that knowledge." Color psychology tells us black represents authority, power, and sophistication. But in its faded form, black loses all those powerful associations. It becomes lifeless, visually heavy, but emotionally flat. And that's precisely why it tends to age us. It weighs down our presence without offering any of that striking contrast or clarity that makes fresh black so commanding. Many of us fall into the habit of overwearing black, especially in our 60s and beyond. It feels simple, doesn't it? It hides what we think we need to hide. It matches with everything in our closet. But when black becomes our default, our safety blanket, we actually stop expressing ourselves. We start to disappear into our clothing rather than being enhanced by it. That's not elegance. That's resignation. And you deserve so much better than that. Now, I'm absolutely not here to ban black from your wardrobe. Black can still be striking and elevated and undeniably elegant, particularly when you wear it well. Here's how to do exactly that. Stick with deep, saturated black in high-quality fabrics. Think satin, ponte, crepe, or velvet. These materials hold their color beautifully and drape in ways that look expensive. Avoid cotton and jersey unless you're prepared to replace them regularly as they fade. Use statement jewelry strategically. Pearls, silver pieces, or bold earrings bring light back up to your face, countering black's tendency to pull focus downward. Add pops of color through your scarf, your handbag, even your lipstick. These bright touches balance black's intensity and prevent it from overwhelming your natural coloring. And here's the most important guideline of all. Know when to let a piece go. If you love the slimming effect of black, but want something more forgiving on your mature skin, try charcoal gray instead. It's softer, but still sleek. Navy blue brings more vibrancy while being less draining. Espresso brown offers richness and warmth that feels grounded on mature skin. These alternatives still deliver that elegant, streamlined effect you're seeking, but they add depth instead of erasing you. Let's shift our attention now to white, a color that holds such promise, yet delivers such disappointment when it goes wrong. At its best, pure white is one of the most powerful colors a woman over 60 can wear. It's clean, radiant, genuinely timeless. It lifts the face, brightens the complexion, whispers elegance in the quietest, most confident way. But when white goes wrong, and believe me, it can go terribly wrong, it doesn't just age you. It sends an unmistakable message of neglect that undermines everything else you're trying to communicate. There exists a fine but crucial line between clean white and dirty white. That line gets crossed quietly, almost invisibly, after many washes, years of hanging in your closet, or simply from the passage of time itself. You've seen it, even if you haven't consciously registered what you were seeing. The blouse that looks vaguely beige, even though you know it started out white. The shirt with faint discoloration creeping along the collar. The sweater that has lost its luster, now leaning slightly gray or yellow in certain lights. These pieces don't announce themselves as worn out. They're more subtle than that. They simply whisper it, quietly but persistently, every time you wear them. Our eyes are naturally drawn to brightness, to light. In color psychology, pure white signifies clarity, simplicity, sophisticated restraint. But when that white becomes even slightly dimmed, even fractionally yellowed, it begins to resemble something quite different. The lines blur between intentionally vintage and simply unkempt. Wearing tired white, especially near your face, where people naturally look when they speak to you, dulls your complexion. It makes your teeth look less white by comparison. It can even exaggerate those shadows under your eyes that you've been trying so hard to minimize with your carefully chosen concealer. Let's be practical about this for a moment. White turns yellow for several very common, very fixable reasons. Residue from deodorant and natural body oils gradually builds up in the fabric. Improper storage, particularly in plastic containers or near wood furniture, can cause discoloration over time. Excessive bleaching, ironically enough, actually weakens the fibers and causes color changes you never intended. And sometimes, it's simply the aging of the fabric itself, the natural breakdown that happens when materials are repeatedly washed and worn and exposed to light. None of this means you did anything wrong, but you absolutely have the power to fix it and prevent it from happening again. Here's what you should reach for instead of settling for dingy white. Crisp optic white is your friend, particularly if you have silver hair. Nothing flatters silver hair quite like a clean white cotton blouse. The contrast is stunning, immediate, completely transformative. Elegant ivory offers softness and warmth without ever looking dingy or neglected. Soft bone or oyster tones bring neutral sophistication, especially in structured pieces that hold their shape beautifully. And if you already love the white pieces in your wardrobe, but they've lost their brightness, treat them kindly. Soak them in OxyClean. Use a bluing agent specifically designed for whites. Add fresh lemon juice to your wash. These small steps can genuinely restore that brightness and make your whites look new again. These shades reflect light back onto your skin. They brighten your complexion instead of dulling it. And most importantly, they tell the world something true about you. That you take care of yourself. That you pay attention. That you haven't given up or settled for less than you deserve. Now, let's discuss a color family that demands more attention than it deserves. I'm talking about neon colors. You know exactly which ones I mean. Highlighter yellow that hurts your eyes. Electric pink that practically vibrates. Screaming green that announces itself from across a crowded room. For some women, particularly in their 20s and 30s, these colors serve a purpose. They're meant to be bold, to make a statement, to turn heads. But after 60, those same neon shades say something entirely different. Not bold, not fun. Something more jarring, more desperate, more trying. I want to be absolutely clear here. I'm not suggesting you can't wear color. In fact, as we age, color becomes even more important for brightening and energizing our presence. But neon isn't just color. It's color on caffeine, color that's been artificially amplified to unnatural levels. It's aggressive, loud, harsh against mature skin. And most critically, it doesn't age gracefully alongside us the way softer, richer tones do. The harsh reality is that neon colors simply don't flatter mature skin tones. They create a high contrast effect that emphasizes every bit of texture, every shadow, every uneven undertone in our complexion. Where you might have looked lively in a lime green tank top at 35, now at 65, you're more likely to look washed out. Or worse, you look like you're desperately trying to appear younger than you are, fighting against your age instead of embracing it with confidence and grace. When your clothing looks like it's fighting against you instead of supporting you, that's when people start to think that word we all dread. Dated, outdated, out of touch. Color psychologists will tell you that neons are intrinsically associated with urgency, with youth, with rebellion and raw energy. That's precisely why we see them on road signs designed to grab attention and on teenage party dresses meant to stand out in dim lighting. But you won't find them in luxury fashion for mature women. There's a reason for that. What's trendy doesn't always equal what's timeless. Neon colors, especially in the fast fashion pieces, where they appear most frequently, signal disposability. They're not designed to last, to age gracefully, or to elevate your appearance. They're designed to catch the eye temporarily before being discarded and replaced. Some of the most aging neon shades include highlighter yellow, which makes even glowing, healthy skin appear sallow and tired. Hot electric pink draws attention to all the wrong places and creates a jarring clash with silver or white hair. Neon green or lime creates such harsh contrast that it often looks cartoonish against the softer tones of mature skin. These colors don't just overpower your face. They overpower your entire energy, your natural presence, making it impossible for people to see the real you underneath all that artificial brightness. But here's the beautiful part. You don't have to abandon these color families entirely. You just need to refine your relationship with them. If you love yellow, try mustard, buttercream, or goldenrod instead. These shades are warm and cheerful, and infinitely more wearable than their neon counterparts. If pink speaks to your heart, opt for rose, berry, or soft blush. These tones bring feminine softness that communicates confidence rather than confusion. If green calls to you, choose olive, sage, or emerald. These colors feel rich, grounded, sophisticated in ways that neon green never could. The secret here isn't to hide from color. The secret is to refine how you use color. After 60, our presence should feel settled, wise, certain of itself. Neon tries to shout for attention, but true elegance, the kind that lasts, whispers quietly, and is still heard perfectly well. Speaking of whispers, let's turn our attention to gray. Gray is one of the most misunderstood colors in a mature woman's wardrobe. It promises sophistication, balance, perfect neutrality. And when chosen correctly, it absolutely delivers on those promises. But not all grays are created equal. Some uplift and enhance. Others quietly erase us from our own lives. Flat gray is the culprit I'm concerned about here. That particular shade that looks almost like concrete, cold and untextured, and utterly dull. It lacks any undertones of warmth or richness. When worn near your face, it produces a draining effect on your skin, on your energy, on your entire outfit. It can easily resemble pajamas, old uniforms, or hospital scrubs, none of which reflect the vibrant, multi-layered, thoroughly interesting woman you truly are. Flat gray deceives us. It feels safe, doesn't it? It feels neutral and inoffensive. But here's the problem lurking underneath that apparent safety. Flat gray doesn't do any work for you. It doesn't highlight your best features, or warm your complexion, or communicate that you're polished and put together. Instead, it communicates something quite different. It says, "I've given up. Don't notice me. I'm just here, taking up space." As we mature, our natural coloring inevitably changes. Hair turns silver or white. Skin becomes lighter, more translucent. If your clothing mirrors that exact lack of contrast, you risk becoming completely invisible in your own outfit. Flat gray offers no contrast, no glow, no visual tension whatsoever. The result is a look that's not just aging, it's forgettable, easily overlooked, dismissed without a second thought. But I believe something different about you. I believe that after 60 years of living, learning, growing, overcoming challenges, and celebrating victories, you've earned the right to be noticed, to be seen, to express elegance and vitality, instead of hiding behind walls of colorless clothing that make you disappear. This doesn't mean all gray is wrong for you. Far from it. Some grays are incredibly elegant when chosen with genuine intention and care. Here's what to try instead of flat gray. Heather gray is soft and slightly marled, with subtle texture that feels both cozy and refined. Greige, that beautiful blend of gray and beige, flatters more skin tones than almost any other neutral. Charcoal offers richness and drama, providing better contrast without being as harsh as pure black. Warm taupe represents a perfect blend of neutral tones with just a touch of warmth, feeling both modern and genuinely expensive. These sophisticated shades offer softness without sacrificing style. Most importantly, they don't drain you of life and energy. They enhance you, support you, work with you. When you wear colors that truly support your natural beauty, something magical happens. You walk differently. You stand a little taller. You don't shrink into the background hoping not to be noticed. Instead, you shine quietly, confidently, exactly as you deserve to. Now let's examine soft pastels, colors with a reputation for being feminine, delicate, eternally timeless. And they absolutely can be all those things when chosen wisely and worn well. But there's a particular type of pastel that quietly sabotages your look without you even realizing it's happening. I'm talking about ashy pastels, those pale shades that lack vibrancy and warmth. Ashy pastels are what happens when you take baby pink and drain it until it turns chalky. When you take pale lavender and let it lean so heavily gray that it looks like faded wallpaper. When you choose mint green that feels washed out rather than fresh and spring-like. These colors are muted, powdery, often tinged with a gray undertone that dulls their overall effect. On paper, in a catalog, they might seem soft and gentle. But on your body, especially against mature skin, they produce exactly the opposite effect. Here's what's happening beneath the surface. As we age, we naturally lose some of the pigment in our skin, hair, and lips. Our coloring becomes more subtle, more muted. That's not a flaw. It's simply biology doing what biology does. But when you pair that naturally subtle coloring with a dusty pastel that already lacks color strength, you create a compounding effect. Your skin looks tired. Your eyes fade into your face instead of sparkling with life. You appear washed out even if you've had a perfect night's sleep, and feel absolutely wonderful inside. It's not just about fashion. It's about energy, about presence, about the impression you make when you enter a room. Ashy pastels take more from you than they give. We often choose these colors because they feel safe, non-offensive, somehow appropriate for women of a certain age. But safe isn't always stylish, and looking appropriate doesn't mean you should look invisible, fading into the background like wallpaper nobody notices. After 60, your clothing should honor the full, rich, complex life you've lived, not fade into insignificance as though you no longer matter. But don't worry. I'm absolutely not saying you can't wear pastels. You can, and you should if they speak to your heart. The key is choosing the right kind of pastel, the ones with clarity and warmth built into their very essence. Try clear pinks like rose or blush, shades with genuine warmth and life pulsing through them. Choose lavender with blue undertones, which lights up cooler skin tones beautifully. Go for fresh mint or aqua instead of dull sage. Consider spring green or seafoam with real vibrancy. Embrace peachy coral, which gives warmth to your skin without being loud or overwhelming. These refined tones still feel soft and feminine, but instead of draining you, they revive you. They lift your face, brighten your mood, reflect light back onto your skin in the most flattering ways. It's genuinely amazing what a small shift in tone can accomplish. You don't have to wear bold reds or jewel tones to look alive and elegant. A well-chosen pastel, one with clarity and warmth, can be every bit as powerful and transformative. Finally, I want to address a habit that feels safe, but quietly ages your entire appearance. I'm talking about overly matched outfits. Head to toe, same exact color. From your earrings down to your shoes, everything coordinated perfectly. Somewhere along the way, we were taught that matching every element of our outfit made us look put together, polished, sophisticated. But here's the truth that nobody wanted to tell us. When your outfit is too perfectly matched, it comes across as dated, overworked, frankly, a bit lifeless. When every single piece is the exact same shade, we remove the visual interest that helps us look lively, modern, genuinely refined. Instead of framing your face and celebrating your features, everything just blends together into one monotonous block of color. Your silhouette disappears. Your personality gets lost in this sea of sameness. Even the outfit itself becomes boring rather than interesting. We often match everything because we want to feel safe, or because we were raised in an era when fashion rules felt stricter and more rigid. Match your purse to your shoes, match your scarf to your skirt, and so on and so forth. But fashion has evolved significantly, and so have we. Today, true elegance is about effortless sophistication, not rigid perfection. Being too coordinated can actually make your outfit feel stiff, out of step with contemporary style, trying too hard to follow rules that no longer apply. Here's the secret that changes everything. Instead of matching, aim for harmony. Choose colors that complement each other beautifully. Play within the same color family, but vary the tones, the textures, the depths. Try navy pants with a soft sky blue blouse and silver jewelry. The blues work together without being identical. Pair olive trousers with a creamy linen top and add a pop of mustard in your earrings. The earth tones create harmony without monotony. Wear a rose-colored blouse with plum or wine-toned pants and neutral shoes. The pink family stays cohesive while offering beautiful depth and dimension. See the difference? The look is still refined, still elegant. But now there's depth. There's movement. There's visual conversation happening within your clothing, creating interest and sophistication that perfectly matched outfits simply cannot achieve. This mistake doesn't stop at clothing either. It often extends into accessories, lipstick, even nail polish. Everything matching might feel cohesive in theory, but what it really does is scream for attention without demonstrating any actual sophistication. True elegance whispers. It doesn't shout. You don't need to match perfectly to feel polished. You need to be intentional. Let your outfit breathe. Let your personality shine through. After all, you're not a uniform. You're a masterpiece constantly in progress. You've come this far because you genuinely care about how you present yourself to the world. You care about looking not just younger, but truly elevated. So let me close with this thought. The colors you choose to wear carry real energy. They reflect not just your taste, but your entire story, your values, your self-respect, your understanding of who you are at this moment in your life. When you wear muddy browns, dirty whites, or chaotic neons without careful thought, you're not just blending into the background. You're silently telling the world, perhaps unconsciously, that you don't deserve more, that you've accepted invisibility, that you're willing to settle for less than you're worth. But when you choose colors that genuinely lift your skin, brighten your presence, mirror the dignity you've earned through 6 decades of living, everything shifts. You stand taller. You feel more radiant, more present, more yourself. And the world responds to that confidence, to that self-assurance, to that quiet knowledge that you deserve to be seen and celebrated exactly as you are. At this remarkable stage of life, you don't owe anyone silence, invisibility, or settling for beige when your spirit calls for something richer. You owe yourself joy, elegance, power, and yes, color used well is a beautiful, powerful form of self-respect and self-celebration. Now I'd love to hear from you. What color in your wardrobe needs to go? Which one lights you up the most, makes you feel most like yourself? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this video made you pause and really think about the messages your clothing sends, please give it a like and share it with a friend who might benefit from this conversation. Don't forget to subscribe, because you deserve content that honors who you're becoming, not who the world once expected you to be. Until next time, wear your worth proudly. Let your colors speak volumes about the remarkable woman you are.